So as law enforcement, the only thing you should concern yourself with is the law, not policy, not feelings, not any of that stuff. Because you're not policy enforcement, right?
You're not going upstairs.
Can you stop being childish? Why are you being such a petulant child? That's so immature, really.
You do not have permission.
I don't need permission.
I
have the Constitution. This is a public building. I pay taxes here just like everybody else.
If you won't provide ID, I'm not asking you whether you think I can.
You
I'm
can't.
just letting you know.
It's unlawful,
okay.
sir. You can't.
And
do
I'm
that.
going to ask Lieutenant Martin to trespass you.
That is public property, but they do have policies. And I understand what you're saying. Their policies don't supersede your
Exactly.
amendments. So,
Are you familiar with the First Amendment?
I am, sir. I really am.
Welcome back, Liberty Trollers. We're at the Seminole County Public Schools here in Florida. Here to make sure that our public servants treat we the people with respect and above all, honor our rights. Let's see if they do just that. By the way, for those who have supported the channel in various ways, I really appreciate it. If you would like to support the channel, you can go to www.libertytroll.com to our Liberty Troll shop to get some merch if you want to support the channel and get something back in return. It's highly recommended. Or you can go to Cash App, you can go to GoFundMe or GiveSendGo. It's all in the video description if you would like to support this channel. It goes a long way to keep boots on the ground and cover any typical expenses that arise in this activism. Hi. I don't think so. Thank you, though. Okay, human resources over here. Seminole County Public Schools, human resources. Nothing going on in here. It's a nice shot of the flag there. 1 second. Very nice. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry?
Did you need to go in?
Yeah. I'm going to check out all the public areas in the building.
Okay. You can, but can you check in with me first?
Yeah, my name's Zach. Just put Zach on there. It's fine.
No, I need your ID. I'll check you.
Oh, no, I'm not willing to give. I didn't bring my ID with me anyway. I didn't drive, so.
So if you want to go in, you need to check in here.
Is that like just the policy you guys have here?
That is.
Okay, so it's not like against the law, right, to continue on without an ID? The reason I ask is because there's a Fourth Amendment that we have. We don't have to give up that private information. Yeah. I see some public restrooms over there. I'll be right over here if you need me, ma'am. Lots of cameras everywhere. Hello, how you doing? Oh, excuse me. Is this where you make payments? For what kind of payments do you guys do here?
Excuse me.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna try to get
sorry, go ahead.
that you need to pay for the county.
Okay, anything? Like what would be an example of something somebody comes here to pay? Would it be like, yeah. I record any interactions I have with government. I'm doing a little story here on the school board. Yeah, so what kind of, just like what's one example somebody comes here to pay in person?
Employee badge.
Employee badge? Okay, fair enough. That's all I needed. Thank you.
Hi, sir. Can I help you?
I'm sorry?
Can I help you?
Hi, who are you?
I'm the executive secretary in HR.
Oh, I'm Zach. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
My name's Sandy.
Nice to meet
But
you.
You're filming.
Yeah, recording.
Okay, so you need to sign in at the desk. It's stated on the door. It's also stated.
Yeah, I told her I don't mind signing in. I still want to show ID. I don't have my ID on me anyway.
You have to show ID to sign in.
Well, I was asking her if that's a law, because we do have a Fourth Amendment. We don't have to give up the information to enter a public building.
You do need to sign in. It's a safety and security procedure.
Yeah, signing in is totally different than showing ID. I'm okay
You
with
do
signing
need
in.
your
That's fine.
Okay, if you'd like to wait up front, I can get safety and security down here, and they can go over it with you. I'm
Alright.
not safety and security,
these people
but
right here.
you can wait up front. Hey, how can I help you?
Hey, how you doing? I don't need help. Who are you?
I'm Lieutenant
Seminole County Sheriff's Office, School Safety and Security.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Building.
Nice to meet you. So yeah, I just came in. She said I need to sign in. I said I don't mind signing in, but she said you need to show ID. I said I don't want to give up my Fourth Amendment.
Yeah, so to get into, and it's similar to getting into any school, in order to gain access to the building, you have to provide your ID.
Yeah, that's a
checking
Fourth
for-
Amendment. Yeah, that's a Fourth Amendment violation.
It's part of the Jessica Lunsford Act.
So is that a policy?
Yep.
Okay, so it's not a law.
It's part of the Jessica Lunsford
Right,
Act.
and it's also part of.
So as law
It is
enforcement, the only thing you should concern yourself with is the law, not policy, not feelings, not any of that stuff. Because you're not policy enforcement, right? You swore an oath to the Constitution, not policy.
Well, I am also school safety and security for this building,
Mm-hmm.
so you're fine. We can have a conversation.
Yeah,
It's
I don't mind
I'm
signing
not-
in. That's fine. I just don't
Okay.
want to. I just don't want to show ID because
Okay,
it's
what's your
not.
purpose here in the building?
Taking pictures and video, go into all the public accessible areas and all the public
Okay, well,
offices.
you have hit your max for that, so
So what other offices do you have here in the building?
we have a variety of offices, but I don't.
So what services do people come here besides this lady right here, cashier, to pay for something? Like what other offices do you guys have here? I'm sorry, I didn't get
This
your
is
name. What was
the-
that?
I'm Sergeant Joann Jackson.
Are you sergeant?
Yes, I am.
Okay, it's hard to tell because you guys not the typical uniform here.
No.
So this is a school district administrative building.
I'm aware. Yeah, it's public. It's a public building. It's taxpayer funded. So basically, the way it works, the way the law works. Okay, we're not talking about policy right now. We can talk about policy if you want afterwards. But the way the law works is you have public buildings that are funded by taxpayers. So anybody who's a taxpayer can come in here, access anything that's public, right? So in the court of law, like you can go into areas as so long as there's not a sign that says, restricted area or something that.
Actually, there's a sign right back here that says that you've trespassed the sign for public.
What does the sign say exactly?
It's right up there.
Okay, so that's one of the things I look for is signage. Another thing I look for is public restrooms and other there's public restrooms right here to your,
It's
or right over
up,
there,
actually.
correct.
They're not down here.
Correct, yeah, right over there. But that lady said you can't go past that spot, but you can't go to the public restrooms unless you go past that sign. So it's not really this isn't restricted. A restricted area by law is an area that is non-public forum. So basically, a non-public forum is an area that is designated by the staff in the building or whoever comes up with that. That is not open to the public at any time for any reason. So once you allow one member of the public in here, it's no longer a restricted area.
Okay.
So appointment or not, signing or not, that's not against the law.
Okay.
So, all right.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, I didn't need help. You came to me, so I just wanted to inform you what the law is versus the policy. That's all.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Where are you going?
See what's over here. This looks like a cafeteria. That's a cafeteria, right?
Yeah, it's like a art martial.
Yeah.
All right, so this is community involvement. Do parents go in there or anybody?
Yeah, parents who sign in go in.
Okay, so it's open to the public.
Again, we're properly posted. You're subject to search if you come into here. You have to sign in. There's signs listed out front there.
No, that's if I don't want to give up my identity, that's me invoking
You
my
don't have
Fourth
to go give
Amendment.
it, but you're not
Yeah,
going to gain access.
but I'm saying
to there.
if I gave my ID, I could come in here, correct?
If you have an appointment and checked in, they vet everybody through the front
Well,
right there.
you don't schedule appointments to take pictures and video in public office. That's not one of the options to choose from. This is a First Amendment protected activity. So Sergeant, what again?
Joann Jackson.
What's your badge number or identifier?
1503.
Okay. So I'll just give you a heads up now. If you guys violate my First Amendment rights, what's going to happen is there will be a civil lawsuit. Your ladies will lose your qualified immunity, and I'll have to see you guys in court. I'm just letting you all know up front.
Okay.
All right? Because if I was here intending to do that, I wouldn't say anything, right? I'm trying to educate you guys, let you know that this is First Amendment protected activity. So it's not against the law. That's the only thing you all should concern yourselves with. It's not, it might be a violation of your all's policy, but it's not a violation of the law.
Do you have students who attend public schools in Seminole County?
Sorry?
Do you have students who attend
I'm not
public
going to answer
schools?
that question.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a member of the public. I pay taxes. That's all you really need to know. Did you hear what I said to her? If you guys violate my First Amendment rights, I will see you in court. You lose your qualified immunity. It's a constitutionally protected activity. It's not something you need an appointment for. You don't need an appointment to exercise rights. If for some reason you don't need permission to exercise your rights. That's why we live in a free country. It's not the permission society, it's the free society. So hopefully y'all get that. But I'd like to gain access to this office because it's open to the public.
It's not open to the public unless you've signed in and you have an appointment, as I stated.
As I already went through this with you.
Okay.
It's not against the law. You guys are, so you're saying you're policy enforcement at this point. Did you swear an oath to the Constitution? It's a serious question. I mean, that's basically the job description of your role as law enforcement. Are you guys from the sheriff's office or the police department?
Seminole Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff's office. Where's that located?
100 Slinger Way, Sanford, Florida 32773, right down the road.
All right, I'll be going there next to file my complaints if you guys continue to prevent my freedom of travel. And I do consult with an attorney before I go into a building to ask a bunch of questions about what I'm talking about, so I do know what I'm talking about here. This is something that you're standing on shaky ground by keeping me from going into a public office.
You're not going upstairs.
Can you stop being childish? Why are you being such a petulant child? That's so immature, really. What is showing you my ID gonna tell you about my intentions of being here? Nothing, right? You're not gonna know me any more than you do now if I show my ID. Oh, you gotta be quick with me.
You do not have permission
I don't need permission.
to gain
I have the
access to
Constitution. This is a public building. I pay taxes here just like everybody else. You know this is gonna go on the internet. You're gonna be super embarrassed later. My videos get tens of thousands of views.
Kelly.
Oh, man. Pretty sure I can outrun you if I wanted to. Oh, man. So what's so secretive back there?
It's not secretive, man. It's just a matter of security.
This is all principle for you, right?
No, it's a matter of security.
No, seriously. Are you here to uphold the Constitution and the law, or are you here to uphold policy and people's feelings? Which one is it?
I answered your question.
Can't have it both ways.
Go hang out here.
Absolutely okay.
How you doing? Are you with security as well? Man, those boots are totally rad, man. Are those like flames on there?
That's right.
Hell yeah.
And they need it. Sorry.
So, Lieutenant, if I was to, question for you, if I was to show ID, what is that going to tell you guys about my intentions and stuff here? Like how?
You don't have an appointment here in the building, so you can't go beyond where the public is able to.
Yeah, but you don't need
access the
it.
building
I know, but you
outside.
don't. But you don't need appointments to exercise rights.
No. I don't know. We're all just standing here. I'm just standing
Okay, I thought maybe it's pouring rain. There's like a whole group
hanging out.
here.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Good. So just so you know, one way or the other, I am getting in that office. I will be getting into that office. And once you're educated, Sergeant, I would appreciate it if you owned up to your mistake afterwards and apologize, because this is just childish. I mean, honestly, it's not a big deal. People are getting workouts today. Where's that sign you were talking about?
Which one do you want to see?
Oh, this one. I saw that sign.
No, there's another one over here too.
What does it say?
Well, it's on the other side of that. You can take a look, man.
I don't want you to block me from coming back over
No,
here.
no, I'm not about to go ahead. You already have free run over here.
Okay. On this point, you must wear an ESC or school name tag or sign in at the front desk. Yeah, I mean, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Could be better, man. I'm trying to gain access into the public offices in the building without an appointment or giving up my Fourth Amendment. So, what do you do here?
I do badges, background checks, fingerprinting.
Question: anyone who comes in here and gives up their ID, do you guys do background checks on those?
No.
No.
So this is for employment.
Right.
Or it's for employment, or if you're a vendor, anything like that.
So if you're just like someone off the street, like myself, like
Sure.
a taxpayer, if I come in here and I want to visit the rooms and I show my ID, do you guys do any background checks on that at all?
Not background checks on visitors.
Okay. So I was explaining to her, like, me giving up my ID doesn't necessarily tell you guys anything about, any person who comes in and shows their ID. Tells them nothing about your intentions, doesn't tell you anything about that person. You know what I mean? So if it's like a safety protocol, it doesn't make anyone safer. That's all I'm trying to say. But it looks like you have law enforcement here.
Yeah, it does.
How you doing, officer? How you doing?
All right.
Are you from the sheriff's office?
I am.
Can I get your name and badge number, sir?
Deputy Barnett, 119049.
Thank you. My name's Zach. So I'm coming in here just trying to go into the publicly accessible areas. They have a policy in place where you have to give up your Fourth Amendment right, which I don't want. I'm not willing to do that because, I believe in my Fourth Amendment. I'm just trying to go into like this office, for example, over here to the right, which is a public office, but they're saying I need an appointment. But to take pictures and video and doing First Amendment protected activity, you don't need an appointment for. So that's where we're at. And the sergeant over here, she's like getting in my way and trying to keep, restrict my freedom of travel and just being immature. So I'm kind of glad you're here. So if you don't mind, if you can educate them, let them know that it's totally lawful what I'm doing.
It is lawful what you're doing, but you do have to check in.
Well, that's a policy.
Okay.
And I told her I'm willing to sign in, like give my name or whatever, but I don't want to show ID because that's a Fourth Amendment
I got you. I
violation.
understand.
That's all.
So their policy is their policy. They run the building, right?
Well, it's a public building. It's not.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it's not a private
It's open
establishment.
to the public.
Correct.
But if their policy states that you have to check in,
There are private areas.
because
And I'm not going into those areas. Just so everyone's clear, I'm not going into any restricted areas or anywhere I'm not supposed to be. So.
everybody is required to check in. That's their policy. Okay.
But again, like as law enforcement, respectfully, you swore an oath to the Constitution.
Mr. Admin has a. He wants
Sir.
to let you know something.
Hey, how you doing? What's your name?
I'm Mark.
Mark.
Your
I'm
name
Zach.
is?
My name's Zach. Nice to
Zach?
meet you. Yes, sir. What do you do here?
I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources.
Okay, great.
My question is, why are you here?
I'm here to take pictures and video. I'm engaged in constitutionally protected activity,
Okay.
gathering some content for a story here on the school
Are you
district.
here to interview anybody here?
No.
Talk to
I
anybody?
wasn't even going to talk to anybody. Everyone who's come
Have
to
you
me
provided
is,
ID to the officers?
I'm not willing to relinquish my Fourth Amendment. That's where we're at.
Well, we're asking you to leave.
You can't
You
do
won't-
that.
If you won't provide ID, I'm not asking you whether you think I can.
You
I'm
can't.
just letting you know.
It's unlawful,
Okay.
sir. You can't
And
do
I'm
that.
going to ask Lieutenant Martin to trespass you.
Well, it's an unlawful trespass, and you're opening the school up to civil litigation. I will
You do
get
what you need to
and I'll
do.
get your deposition.
You do
okay?
what you need to do.
Are you signing the trespass?
Once she provides it to me,
Is your name going to be on it? Okay, so
whatever she says.
so
yes.
you'll be in court and you'll be in court, right? So you lose your qualified immunity, and I can sue you personally.
I'm really not asking you that. I'm just telling you.
I'm
that
telling you that
if
you're
don't have a
violating my
purpose,
rights.
We're asking you to leave.
You're
If
violating
not,
my
no
first. This is
trespassing.
my First Amendment right. Hope you're happy violating a member of the public's civil rights. So I'll see
What
you in
I'm
court.
telling you is that someone that comes in this building, you need to provide ID.
According to
if you're here
policy.
to register a child, or
What
anything
law?
like that,
What law is that?
I'm not going to debate it with you.
You're right. You're not
But
going to
you
because
can
it's
go
not a
ahead
law.
and trespassing.
I'll give you a hint. It's not a law.
me know if
I was
you-
asking you to please leave the premises at this point. You've been trespassed, and if you don't leave, you're looking at a trespass after warning.
Okay, so if I don't leave right now, what's going to happen?
You're going to be arrested for trespass.
Right, if I don't leave right this moment.
You need to leave. You've been asked to leave by the school board.
So
Yes.
if I don't leave right now, I'll be arrested.
Correct.
Okay, so I'll go under threat of arrest. So I'll see you guys in court, including you. You guys are a bunch of tyrants. You need to learn the First Amendment of the Constitution. You guys will hear from me again, I promise you that. I do follow up. So is it just the inside or outside as well?
What's that?
The trespass, is it inside or outside as well?
Parking lot.
Whole parking lot?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
You know, this is all about exercising our rights, the First Amendment, and you guys just violated not just my rights, but every American in the country. So, all right, guys, we're just now leaving the school district here in Lake Mary, Florida. We were just trespassed by 3, 4, 5 tyrants after we told them that we were engaged in constitutionally protected activity. So I'm trying to keep moving so he doesn't try to get me for trespass after warning here as I get my outro. But we will be following up with this one. I would appreciate it if you guys feel compelled to redress your grievances. Petitioning your government is a First Amendment protected activity as well. So if you are dissatisfied with what you've seen here, feel free to reach out. I'll be providing all the information in the description of this video, as well as pinned in the comments. So you don't want to take an opportunity, officer or deputy, to have them retract that or defend my rights?
Defend your rights.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Are you familiar with the First Amendment?
I am, sir. I really am.
So you're familiar with all 5 of them, all 5 elements under the First Amendment.
I understand what you're trying to do. Okay.
What am I trying to do?
It's a public school building.
I know that.
Okay. In the state of Florida, considered school ground, right?
Just still
Not
public.
allowed. Huh?
Just still public. Just like
Correct.
the sheriff's office is sheriff's ground, but it's still public.
Let me explain something to you. If you enter a school, any school in the state of Florida, you have to check in.
I've been to school boards where you don't have to check in.
Well, that's what
Osceola
they
County is one of them.
want. That's what they want. Okay?
Doesn't
Seminole County,
matter.
you check in.
It doesn't matter.
You
It's a
said it doesn't matter.
It's a violation of our rights.
All right. Well, I'm done talking to you.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
What are the 5 fundamental freedoms
I'm not going to answer
under
your
the First
question.
Amendment?
I'm not going to answer that.
But you know what they are, right?
Yes. So I don't need to sit here and debate this stuff.
Well, let me tell you what I was doing.
Go ahead. I know
You
what
said
you're
you know
doing.
what I'm doing.
I know what you're doing.
But I'm exercising freedom of press,
Yes.
all right?
Yes.
Which is a protected activity under the Constitution, First Amendment. I understand what the laws are. I've talked to an attorney before I came here about this specific school, about any school for that matter in the state of Florida. Regardless if there's an appointment that they want you to have with their policies, I don't work for the school board here, so
Right.
I don't have to abide by policy, right? Unless that policy touches on things that fall into like a, lawful, unlawful type thing. I'm not breaking any laws by going against that particular policy. See, I can't make an appointment to come here and take pictures. That's not something that's on the options list to choose from, you know what I'm saying? So I can't make an appointment for that. If I were to call and say, hey, I want to go in there and take pictures and video, you think they're going to, no. It would kind of defeat the purpose of me just going in with an element of surprise and taking pictures and exercising my rights peacefully, right? I wasn't there to talk to anybody. I wasn't there interviewing anybody. Everyone was coming to me. I was just going to go look at the public areas and then turn around and leave without talking to anybody. But first thing when I walked in, you need to show ID. This isn't Nazi Germany. This isn't North Korea. We don't have to show ID. If I went to your precinct or went to your, do you call them precincts? The sheriff's office? Like if I went to your sheriff's office,
Yeah.
right?
Region office.
Yeah. If I went in there and I went inside the lobby,
Yep.
I could sit there and record all day long.
Absolutely.
And I've been to some. I know there's some in New York City, for example. You walk into certain precincts over there, or police departments. They have a policy or signs everywhere saying no photography, no video recording, blah, 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 blah. But those are unconstitutional. There's a guy based out of New York in Long Island. His name's Jean-Paul Reyes. with Long Island Audit, and he's beaten them in court and had those signs removed because they're unconstitutional. You know what I'm saying? So I'm noticing there's a lot of these types of similar policies in place at school boards across Florida, like you said, but it shouldn't be that way, right? Technically speaking, it's against the supreme law of the land, which is the Constitution. And I'm just, here to educate and here to, exercise my rights with the full expectation that I'm going to be able to do that without being molested, Sure. But you got a bunch of ladies in there
touch you though?
molesting my rights. That's what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I got you.
So, I mean, is there any way I can convince you to go talk to them and educate them and say, look, he's not breaking any laws. We understand that, he knows not to go into restricted areas, which I'm not. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to go into, like any private offices or anything like that. I'm just talking about
you spoke to a sergeant and a lieutenant. Okay. Me talking to them is I'm not going to change their mind. And the fact is, the policy is the policy.
I get that.
All right.
But you understand my point is you're not policy enforcement, or they're not policy enforcement. You're supposed to be just law enforcement. You always concern yourself with the law.
Also, the representative of the building can trespass you.
For breaking the law, correct?
No, they can trespass you because they don't want you.
That's not true.
Florida
That's
state law.
I think the hang up here is you're thinking of private property versus public property. You would be correct if it was private.
Public property too.
It's not only if you're breaking the law, sir. If you're breaking the law, one, or two, disrupting business. So you have some discretion when it comes to disrupting business.
I understand.
But I'm very careful about that kind of stuff. I don't raise my voice. I don't, go crazy or,
I understand.
do anything I'm not supposed to do. I just ignore, Fourth Amendment violations. I mean, I don't mind signing in. It's kind of silly. They don't really know who I am, But even if I show them my ID, it's not going to make them more safe because they're doing that in the name of safety and security. But I've shown my ID. They're not doing a background check. I asked. They're like, no, we don't do background checks. I'm like, how do you know? How does that tell you about my intent, or what does that tell you about me if I show you my ID? It makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of we're heading in that Gestapo direction, and that's not the way it should be here in America. Did you serve in the military?
I did not.
Did you not? Well, I mean, I hope going forward, man, if you run into this situation, I hope, especially someone nice like me, you just...
You've been very respectful, and
I'm trying
to, obviously be respectful to a point. That is public property, but they do have policies. And I understand what you're saying. Their policies don't supersede your
Exactly.
amendments. That's what you think. They obviously think different. Okay? That is a public school building. Okay? So public school buildings they're different. School grounds are different than a public, like this is a public building. That's school oriented stuff. Okay? You don't how do I word it?
They can designate non-public areas in that building. They have the freedom to do that. I get it.
So when you enter that building, that's the desk, the security desk. Anything beyond that, you need to check in. Okay?
I get that.
Public is allowed past that after they check in.
Check in and or an appointment. I think
Correct.
even if I did show my ID, they still would want me to make an appointment before entering that one office at the end on the right. That's what they said. But just so we're not confusing anything, I would agree if you were to say they have certain areas they can designate as, because that's what's called a limited public forum.
Right.
Sidewalk is a traditional public forum. Limited public forums can have non-public areas, but they have to be 100% non-public, regardless if there's an appointment or not.
I understand.
But if you can get in there with an appointment, or if you can get in there any other way, it's not restricted. You know what I'm saying? In a private building, it'd be different, but in public, it works in a way that's a little messy. But freedom is supposed to be messy. It's supposed to be, dangerous, right? You know what I'm saying? So I understand they're trying to over sanitize their process and make sure they, for fire purposes, they want people to sign in or whatever. But the show ID and all that stuff, that's going too far, because, again, it's not going to tell them anything about me because they're not doing a background check. So anyway, all right. Well, I'm sorry again. You seem like a nice guy. I wish, I've never been in a situation where, when I had law enforcement tell me I can't, when they violate my rights, I've never had another officer standing there being like, hold on, so wait a second. No, he's actually not breaking any law, so he's good to go. I hope I run into that one day, because that would be heroic. Anyway, I'm going to get my car real quick.
Okay.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Don't get my license plate or anything like that, okay?
Okay.
All right. Welcome back, Liberty Trollers. We're at the Seminole County Sheriff's Office. I believe this is the one where I would go to see some details about the trespass I just received at the Seminole County School District. I just received an unlawful trespass, so I want to file my complaints and find out if they're willing to lift that trespass or not enforce it if I were to go back again. So let's see what they say. I already see them watching us everywhere we go. Howdy. Where do I go to get some information about a trespass?
Trespassing?
Yeah.
What happened?
I was just trespassed from a school district unlawfully, so wanted to get some details on like how long the trespass is for and all that stuff. Who might be able to look that up in your all's database? So there's a lieutenant and a sergeant. They're also part of safety and security in there, and they just unlawfully trespassed me for recording inside public areas.
Okay.
So I'm trying to prevent it from turning into a lawsuit, but I forgot to ask how long the trespass is for. So that's the first thing, is I want to know how
That's
long that's
something,
for.
a trespass, as long as it's documented until the issuer, which I'm guessing would be the school board, revokes it, it does stay valid.
So it's like indefinite?
Yes,
Until,
if they're assigned to school resource,
Okay.
school safety section, they actually report to their schools. If they're assigned to one of the regions, like the North Region, South Region, they would be working and based out of those regional offices.
So I guess what I need to do is contact the school by phone or something and say, hey, how long's the trespass for, since they work for safety and
I'm
security at the same
guessing-
time?
When was this issued?
Today. It was like within the last hour.
It may or may not even be documented in our system.
really?
as of yet.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. Okay. Do you know
At any point, you're welcome to come to our record section and
Yeah.
pull whatever.
Where's your
records.
record section here, by the way?
They're located here. We have two options. If you're going into the secured section, you would need to present ID. But if you don't want to be identified, we call a records employee to come out here and talk to you, and then they take whatever information
Okay.
from you to give you your records.
Last question. Does Sergeant Joann Jackson
She is
work
employed by the sheriff's office.
by this one here?
Yes, by the sheriff's office.
Okay. So when you say sheriff's office, that covers like all
Well,
the
the
sheriff.
Seminole County. She's employed by the Seminole County Sheriff's
Gotcha.
Office. She's assigned to the school safety section.
Okay, gotcha. All right. And then if I want to file complaints on the lieutenant and sergeant there, would I do it here?
We can get you the forms. You can file the complaints.
Okay.
I can take it and forward it to our professional standards division.
Okay.
So
Could I
they-
give it to you verbally? Or you
I
might
can take it
or
and
write
I can
it.
address it. That
if
is
you
an
don't-
option. I
yeah.
mean, you can give me you can give it to me verbally.
And then you just
However,
write it down and I'll sign
it. Wouldn't
it.
be. It wouldn't have a tracking number signed and everything else. It would be something that, if you'd like me to address it directly with their supervisors, I can do that.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and tell you what happened. If you can pass that along, and then I'll just take a form and I'll fill it out real quick before I leave.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Would you be kind
Thanks,
enough
man.
to take the form? Only supervisors can take this. You can call us
Okay.
and have a. Do you have the second page for it as well? What happens is you fill this out. You call. We can have a supervisor come out to you, or you can come back here and the supervisor take it. But line deputies do not
Thank you.
take complaints, and they don't really take them here. Meaning, it's got to go directly to the supervisor, and we forward it to the professional standards division.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have a pad? Can you hand me a pad? I have a pen. I'll take this.
Appreciate it.
This is yours.
Okay.
Also, this is my business card.
Thanks.
In case you need to get in contact with
I
me.
appreciate it, man.
It's not a problem.
Do you know who Sergeant Barnett is? Or deputy, excuse me?
I've heard the name. I don't know them personally.
He's a good guy, but unfortunately, so
Is it? I'm assuming it's B-A-R-N-E-T-T.
I'm guessing, yeah, BARN and ETTE. His badge number is 119049. He's a deputy. The other one's a lieutenant. It's a blonde lady. I didn't get her name, but she's a lieutenant stationed at that school. And then there's Sergeant. I think she said Joann Jackson. She's got short hair. Her badge number is 1503. And it was actually her that gave me the threat of arrest if I didn't leave.
Okay. So they trespassed you from, where did they trespass you from?
The public areas in the public building.
Which building? Was it from a school
It's
board?
the school board, yeah, like the school district
Okay.
building. So they want you to. So the contention was they have a policy where you have to show ID in order to enter further into the building. There's no signs. It's not actually a restricted area. They just want you, according to their policy, they want you to show your ID and give up your Fourth Amendment right. And I wasn't willing to do that. I was polite, but I said, hey, look, I don't want to give up my Fourth Amendment right. This is America, right? So I proceeded to walk forward, and I saw there's a public office up there, you know, but they said, oh, well, you have to show ID and you have to have an appointment. I said, excuse me, I have to have an appointment to take pictures and video. I'm sure that's not an option on the website, you know. So I'm in there practicing my rights, you know, and I'm also in there making sure that I can, you know, observe my government in the course of their official duties, which is a First Amendment right. It's also protected under Smith v. Cumming and other case laws that have been decided on already. Anyway, not to bore you with that. They brought safety and security out. That's where I met Lieutenant, blonde lady, I don't know what her name is.
I can find out who she is.
Sergeant Joann Jackson was preventing my freedom of travel by jumping in front of me and keeping me from going into areas that are public. I wasn't going in the restricted areas or anything like that.
Okay.
She was being a child, big child. Long story short, they violated my rights. And I told them, like, you know, hey, just to forewarn you, if you guys violate my First Amendment rights, I'll take away your qualified immunity in court and I'll sue you personally.
Okay.
Under color of law for civil rights violations. So yeah, I just want to make sure that's documented on their record and that they are taught, you know, the rules of public photography in public. It's not private. It's, you know, the rules are or the law's different.
Anywhere where you can legally be, you can record.
Correct. Yep. And I was trying to explain to them that, look, listen, if I was breaking the law, you 100% could trespass me. You can trespass people from a public building too if they're disrupting business, which is at your all's discretion, right? If they're being obnoxious or something of that nature, or if I'm breaking the law, which I wasn't either of those things. So I just want to make sure they're educated, and I want to make sure I can go back at some point and do the same thing, but not have to encounter that same situation.
I will follow up and I will advise their supervision that you came in here where your concerns are.
I appreciate it.
I can do that much.
Thank you.
Do you want me to follow up with you?
Yeah, I'll give you my email.
Okay.
It's Liberty Troll, LIBERTY TROLL .LLC @gmail.
Okay.
Again, it's libertytroll at libertytroll.llc @gmail.com.
What I'll do is I will relay your concerns to their supervision and I'll give you whatever feedback they have.
I appreciate that, and I'll just
You have my
fill this
email
out.
address.
Okay.
Yeah, feel free to fill it out. You can just give us a call back we can come to you, pick it up. You can
Okay.
come back here and turn it in.
Okay.
Whatever. Yeah, and that's why
Oh, this has to be notarized? Okay.
we notarize it.
Gotcha.
That's why it has to be done by a supervisor. We
Oh,
are notaries
okay.
for any sheriff's office paperwork.
So if I fill it out like over here somewhere and then just like give it to you,
It would need to come to supervisor.
then I need to ask for a supervisor. Okay.
Yep,
Cool.
absolutely.
I don't need to sign this or anything, right? I can stay anonymous.
You can stay anonymous, but in order to follow up and get any redress that your concerns are to follow up, find out what happened, we would need to contact you. But yeah, I mean, if you don't want to put your name, that's fine.
Well, email's fine. I'm not. I think if I want to like prosecute, I think I would have to like put my information on there. But
Yeah, if the only thing you want to do is put an email address on it, that's fine.
yeah, this is just to go in their file and just the email, just as a receipt to let me know.
It
Like,
will be documented
okay,
that you
cool.
came, dropped it off.
Okay. Do you have a clipboard by chance so I can borrow? I appreciate it. I'm going to sit right over there and fill it out, and I'll be right back. Okay, cool. And how do you pronounce?
My name's Lugay.
Luge? I'm Zach. Nice to meet you. Thank you, sir.
Pleasure. I said the office is actually closing at 5 o'clock is when we shut the building down, but up until that time, you're welcome to be here, and if you need to stay a little longer, I'll stay here with you.
Yep. All right, fast. All right, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Okay. That was fast, right? And then it just needs to be notarized now by. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see you there. So my email's on there.
Sorry?
I put my email on there. First name and email.
Do you wish to sign over there?
No.
No? Okay. I'm already anonymous.
Thank you. That's just so it goes in their file. In case it happens again.
My signature? It is.
My goal here is to just make sure that, they're held accountable and that I'm able to go back to the school board, knowing that, if I do the same thing, I'm not going to be trespassed unlawfully.
I can't comment on school board policy. That is however they run it. I can only comment on it.
I mean, like, if they called you guys, if I can be rest assured that no deputy or anyone from the sheriff's office would go there and try to enforce what they want done, which would be a trespass.
I
Unless I was breaking the law, of course. Which I guarantee won't happen.
Well, as I said, I can't comment on school board policy. I don't know it. I don't work school safety section. I work here at the sheriff's office. I work for judicial and building security. You do have my card.
Okay.
If you have any questions, please feel free to call or email me.
Okay, I will.
Right.
And could I ask you one more question?
Sure.
And I know I know you weren't there, but based on like what I told you, if it would have been you that was on patrol.
I gotta be honest, if I'm not there for a situation, I can't even begin to speculate on how it would
Okay,
actually work.
I understand that. I understand.
So I just don't know.
Okay. All right. Anything else for me, or all set
No,
there?
sir, I will forward this to our professional standards division.
Okay. And then I should get an email, I guess, that it's been sent. And
Yeah, they will do what they do with it.
okay, fair enough. Thank you for your help. Have a good one. Thank you.
Be safe.
You too. All right, Liberty Trollers, we're just now leaving the sheriff's office here. We did file our complaints on the lieutenant, on Sergeant Joann Jackson, and Deputy Barnett for civil rights violations, First Amendment and Fourth Amendment. Again, we were given a threat of arrest by the sergeant at the school district here in Seminole County. So now that we've filed our complaints, I'm going to be following up and pursuing a 1983 civil lawsuit. I'm going to have to pay the $400 at some point to go ahead and get that going. But again, I'm not going to be filing any sort of lawsuits until I get through my criminal charges in Polk County, where I was unlawfully arrested inside of a DMV. I was doing the same exact thing there, where I was recording in the public areas, and one of the deputies there went hands-on, and that's where I was arrested by both the deputy and the sergeant. The link to that video is in the description of this one. I will be following up on this. The goal is to go back for a revisit to that school district and record peacefully, exercising our rights unmolested. Hopefully we'll be able to go into all the publicly accessible areas without having to give up our Fourth Amendment or being told that we can't exercise our First Amendment rights. It's a shame what they did to me over there. We're gonna follow up and hold them accountable, guys. Promise you that. If you guys want to petition your grievances, you feel compelled to do so. Appreciate it, guys. That's how we power our public opinions very strong. So I would appreciate you guys making those grievances known. Once again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Liberty Troll, out.